I'd like to go ahead and call the regular council meeting to order at 6:30. May I have a roll call?
Bertone.
Here.
Harrison.
Here.
Heights.
Here.
Horton.
Here.
Heresy.
Here.
Backnick. No. All right.
I'll make a motion to excuse Basnick until she gets there.
I'll second Harrison.
Heresy.
Aye.
Horton.
Aye.
Harrison.
Aye.
Heights.
Aye.
Bertone.
Aye.
Do we
Okay,
need
can
to
I have-
excuse Mr. Lyons?
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt.
I'll make that motion, Horton.
Heresy second.
On the motion to excuse Mr. Lyons. Horton.
Aye.
No need. He's here.
There he is.
I stand corrected.
All right. Hello, Mr. Lyons. Okay, well, can I have a motion to approve the regular council meeting held October 20th?
So moved, Doug.
Heresy. Heresy second.
Who is the first, please?
Doug?
Thank you. Harrison.
Doug, you're on mute.
Doug, you're on mute.
Aye.
There you go.
Sorry.
Heresy.
Aye.
Bertone.
Aye.
Heights.
Aye.
Horton.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have some guest speakers here this evening. It's hard to believe that, I mean, it feels like a lifetime ago, guys, that we had the first rendition of the transient marina study that we did over top of the ice cream shop. It was a great day, and we had a lot of stakeholders at that meeting, and a lot of great work has been done on this, on our behalf with this. So I'll turn it over to Peter and Bruce, but I want to thank them beforehand for all their work that they've done along with Amy and everyone else. But they've got a great plan that they put together for us, and I'm sure council, you guys may have some questions of it if you don't have them tonight, but they've been great partners to work with, and putting forth a very good plan for us in the future. So Peter, the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Everybody, it's great to see you tonight. A little bit different than I think the last time I came to attended a meeting and stood before you all, but very excited to be here tonight. We have completed the market study phase of this transient marina project. So we've really kind of been able to look and see what would work. We are preparing to move into the design and engineering phase. We plan to stick with MSA consultants. Bruce has been great to work with so far. They've got a great team. Really appreciate their knowledge and expertise. And I just wanted to give tonight to kind of formally present the study to you, let Bruce kind of give a little bit of background on his knowledge, and also sort of explain the way that he went about doing the study and how we've arrived at the concept that we have to move forward. So, Bruce?
Good afternoon, or evening as it is now. It's great to see you guys again. I haven't met all of you. I've met several, however, and even though we didn't get to come out in March because the pandemic got in the way, it's at least good to talk to you again. We started that program back in February, and as an employee at MSA Professional Services, we've been involved with waterfront development for 26, 27 years now, and we have a firm that has a real good team of people that can provide a wide variety of design and construction document services. The report itself was and may I present some of my graphics?
Sean,
Amy?
Let me.
Yes. Sean, he should be able to share his screen.
Yep.
Got it.
Is it showing yet?
yep.
Yes.
Okay, it's hard to say from the side, but we generated a report that basically looked into a variety of tasks. We wanted to really identify the market that you have for developing a transient marina here. We wanted to get the input from the local stakeholders, and that was our February meeting. We actually interviewed about 20 different marinas in your region to find out about their rates, their occupancy, and their attitudes towards having another destination on Lake Erie. And we got a lot of positive input on that. As a result, we were able to start putting together some ideas for the components that we needed for our this facility, and we came up with a short list. It was identified that the existing boat launch is very popular, but it could use some improvements, and it definitely could use more parking. We identified a fish cleaning station as something that would be desirable, and we also identified that the current facility is vulnerable to storm damage with the high water you've had recently in the last couple of years, and ice damage and debris coming in. If we wanted to develop something more sophisticated out there, we would probably need to put in a wave attenuation system, probably a fixed breakwater that would deflect the waves and limit the ice damage. There's a strong need to connect with the downtown area and to help stimulate the economics along High Street and throughout the town. The DNR, which was one of our stakeholder groups, identified a strong desire to be able to home their research vessels in that facility, and are willing to contribute towards that cause. And we needed to provide transient marina slips, or slips that people could rent for a day or up to 2 weeks at a time, and come and visit the municipality. Along with developing that as a transient marina, we're looking at developing fueling facilities, bathrooms and showers, and a marina check-in office, and a few other amenities that would help improve the usability of this site. And as a result of that, we came up with a concept. We actually came up with 3 concepts and presented it to the stakeholders, and they provided feedback that allowed us to refine the design. And the current design is the one that you're seeing on the screen now. Has about 50 slips and room for a bit of expansion. It has a fuel dock and fish cleaning station and restrooms and showers. It expands the parking lot to about 93 trailer stalls and about 38 regular stalls, and provides a little a front door to the lake, and allows us to develop a facility for renting golf courts or bicycles or other means to get up into town, and it provides that ODNR research vessel facility. So what you're seeing here is about a $9.3 million investment. And it's a lot in a confined space, but this is what we have to work with. And we've already gotten a verbal commitment from the Ohio DNR to pay for all their development costs for their portion of the marina facility. And we, as part of our report, developed a matrix of grant opportunities that in the next phase we will be working with the Port Authority to see how many grants we can obtain to help fund the rest of this project. So that is the project in a nutshell. And I'd like to open it up for people to ask questions.
All right, Mayor, no one jumping on. I'll ask a couple questions if that's okay.
Yes, sir.
So conceptually, it looks great. Great project, great concept. I'm guessing though that I know that this is something you're developing, but I would imagine there'd be some more development along with maybe with where the restroom concession and picnic area would be. Someone who owns a boat and is trailered down there, that looks a little bit challenging to get in and out of that area. So before we go too much further, I would think we need to study that area a little bit more. You don't want to bottleneck. People need to get those trailers out of there, and not everybody is an expert trailer operator. Believe me, especially new boat owners. But outside of that, I think it looks great. And all I would add is you've already done a great job, but continue down the path and take the approach to make this something exceptional that nobody's seen anywhere else. And that includes the structures you build, the look that this has. We have one shot at this, so let's do everything we can to make it absolutely the best possible ever. That's it.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. Getting the trailer launch sequence right is always the biggest challenge. And yeah, I think we can open this up a little bit more. We tried to max out on the number of trailer stalls that we had available, and that kind of put a vice on the launch ramp. But as we go through the construction document generation process, we'll probably have to open that up a little bit more.
Thank you.
Just to add on to this, we have developed it to the point we've got the components in here. Their arrangement will change a little bit. I foresee the breakwater moving out another 300 or 400 feet to allow better traffic flow, but it made the graphics a little odd, so we kind of condensed it for at least the concept level version of it.
So what are the next steps then, Peter or Bruce?
We we are working with MSA and also with Jim Lyons. We're going to get all the attorneys together and finalize the agreement that will move this into the design and engineering phase. We see that as a bed tax funded phase. We did put in a capital request early in the year. So if the state does do a capital budget, we are already on their list. So, we'll hope and pray for that. But yeah, essentially we just need to get the agreement in place to really start doing the meat of the work, surveying, bathymetric surveys, things like that. So finalize that agreement and executed it, then Bruce and his team can get going.
Very good. Yeah, just to touch on the capital piece of that, we were very aggressive early on, or late towards last year, early this year. We had folks up from Columbus. Kenny Yuko was there. I believe the president of the Senate came up to actually tour the site and see exactly what we were looking at here. So, from the commissioners to the state level leaders, et cetera, this is a high priority project for a lot of people. And I don't expect that to change if the money drags a bit because of COVID. That'll be what it'll be. But as we come out of this, I can't imagine this not staying high on a priority list. And as Bruce touched on, the ODNR really has been quite a surprise to us, at least locally here. We didn't realize they were looking to come further up river. For those that don't know, ODNR operates the Eastern Basin basically out of this area. And they're spending 2 or 3 hours a day just traversing the river to get out to the lake. So it would speed up their time quite a bit. And then they have a desire to open up the public access to the open water too. So there's a lot of things they're driving for us. The price tag seems high, but I feel very confident that we'll be able to figure out how to pull the monies together and bring some of those private entities along as well. So again, a lot of great work. Doesn't sound like there's a lot of other comments from council, so I don't want to waste anyone's time this evening. But if nothing else, I thank you both again for your hard work and your efforts, and look forward to the next steps of this.
Thank you very much, and I'm very excited about this project. It's one that's been overdue for a while, and I'm glad to be part of it.
We're glad to have you.
Yes. Thank you, Bruce and Peter. I appreciate all your hard work.
Sure.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, thank you, gentlemen. You don't have to stay for the rest of the meeting.
Okay. We'll see you later.
Nice job.
Thank you both.
All right. From our solicitor this evening, Mr. Jim Lyons.
Good evening. I was going to ask Peter a bunch of questions, but I see he left already. So. But there is a document that's out there for the engineering services, and the Lake County Port Authority wants the village and also the Fairport Harbor Port Authority to be signers on that document, and so that we're kept in the loop as long as we're not kept in the financial loop. So that's the thing I'm going to be looking at mostly here. So.
Okay.
It's my understanding the funding is supposed to come from the Lake County Port Authority. And,
yes. And up until this point, I believe 100% of the funding has come from those bed tax dollars.
Right.
Yep.
To my best knowledge, the state has still not passed an extension on the Zoom meetings and the Google meetings, but I think there's a bill in front of the state legislators to allow that because our authority ends on December 1st, but I'd be very surprised if that wasn't extended here. Okay. So,
okay. Thank you.
That, I don't know anything at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Lyons. All right. So from my section this evening, I do have a couple of things to report on. It's COVID related. So as everybody has seen and you're experiencing it, I'm sure in your lives or in your professional lives, there's definitely an uptick in cases. And it's affecting a great many, people on a personal level, but it's affecting kind of the way we work as well. So we're starting to see it within our employees. I'm not going to go over any specifics or any specific numbers, except just to let council know that we have seen cases in and around our employee forces. And the reason why I'm not going to go into the numbers is it gets too small here in the village. We'll all know who we're talking about. So I won't be able to hold any of the HIPAA laws. And then the other thing is it's just some things we don't want out to the general public just because there's people that would want to do us harm. But rest assured as council, rest assured as residents that we are taking your safeguards and your safety to this village at the highest priority. And to that end, it was decided today by myself and Amy, Bob, and JP, that we will be closing Village Hall to the general public until further notice. There's not a lot of foot traffic there now, but we really are sequestering our safety forces and pulling them in to keep them safe. The incident command has been reinstated. So that just gives us the mechanisms to talk to one another a little bit easier. We'll be talking to the school system, et cetera, sharing just what's going on with it. So, keep yourself safe, keep your family safe. Amy, I think I touched on it briefly enough. I don't know if you want to add anything.
Yeah, I mean, we've been posting all the information from the General Health District on our website and our Facebook page. Any updates from the commissioner, we post. We're continuing with our office staff. We've actually put the office staff on a rotating schedule again, like we did in March when this first hit. We're still doing all of our safety protocols, mask wearing, temperature checks, and disinfecting of all the offices and public areas. And the fire department has been down to the water plant. We've been all over the place disinfecting. Should something pop up internally, we're right on it. We're taking care of the person and we're disinfecting. So I was on a call with mayors and managers this morning, and they were expressing how there is a large influx in cases, and there were some municipalities on there inquiring on whether or not they should shut down their city hall. And he suggested it would be our best interest to do so, given the increase in cases, and to kind of keep your employees out of harm's way. So that's kind of where we are today.
And if there's any questions that Amy and I can answer for you outside of the meeting, feel free to give us a call. So if you have no questions for me, I will turn it over to Amy for the rest of her report.
Okay, well, Peter and Bruce did a good job talking about the marina, so we've covered that. We've talked about COVID enough for today, I'm sure, and Transportation for Livable Communities Initiative Planning presentation on October 29th. Peter Zahersky from the Lake County Port Authority and I participated in a NOACA TLCI planning study presentation. So NOACA provides an opportunity for all applicants to discuss their projects with the NOACA staff. As I mentioned previously, Lake County Port Authority prepared a grant application on our behalf to submit to NOACA in an effort to receive TLCI planning funds for a waterfront connectivity study. So this is going to go through a process. They're going to meet a few times in January, and we may actually hear an outcome in March of next year. Wanted to let you know that the fall winter newsletter was sent out to the community at the end of October. We also have copies available at Village Hall, an electronic version on our website and Facebook page. And finally, in the media, the News Herald ran numerous articles on Fairport in October. There was an article October 18th regarding the TLCI planning grant, another front page article on October 23rd regarding one of our local businesses, the gravel pit. And on October 25th, an article ran regarding our review of our government vehicles. And also, in regards to events, I wanted to let you know that the Lighthouse reading by the Grinch and the Harbor Holiday on December 5th has been canceled, unfortunately, due to our uptick in cases. But we hope that'll all be back with us in 2021. So that is my report.
Very good. Thank you, Amy. Keep
Thanks,
up the good
Amy.
work. Anybody got any questions of Amy?
I do real quick. I know Amy talked last week about the DORA. Can you give us any update as to that plans or what we're doing with that?
Sure. We have been researching the DORA quite extensively. We're trying to navigate all of this DORA legislation, and actually the mayor and Tony and I have a meeting tomorrow afternoon with Brian Dirtle. Brian actually works with a lot of the legislative leadership in the state of Ohio, and we're hoping he can help us navigate this rather involved DORA legislation so we can actually make it work for Fairport in the most efficient way. So we can actually set up designated outdoor refreshment areas. So I hope to have more updates for you very soon.
Yeah, just to summarize that a little bit more, Jerry, as you read through these legislations just aren't set up for communities of our size. And what I'm really trying to do is have a conversation at the state level to see if we can't carve something out in either that legislation or if something else gets introduced on our behalf, because we actually have two areas where we probably wouldn't want to limit ourselves, right? Is the downtown area, and then all this work that we're doing in and around the waterfront. So, it's my belief that the way the legislation is written, it's quite prohibitive for, communities of our size to take advantage of these things to try to, grow. So, we'll definitely keep everyone posted on what we're doing and where we're going, but we're definitely trying to figure this out. Okay. Oh, did you? No, go ahead. I should have asked.
Okay. The question from the general, well, I think it's more of a statement / question. We partner with Lake Metro Parks, who maintains the adjacent beach. Their concern is with extra boat traffic near their facilities and sand being directed towards the beach. So I believe they might have been looking for at least a comment on that.
Is that a question from the Metro Parks, or do you think it was a question, just have they been involved in the conversation to this point? Because if the question is more to the latter, they're absolutely been involved in the conversation. Paul Pelagi, the director of the Metro Parks, has given some direct feedback to Bruce and Peter, both through emails and through the public meetings that we've been involved in. So they've been well represented, and I think a lot of their ideas have been taken into consideration to this point. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, so nobody else has anything for Amy?
I'm good.
Then we are on to Clyde, our village engineer.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. Just a few quick updates on some projects. The East Street improvement project is substantially complete. There are a few minor issues that we're trying to straighten out, but those should be taken care of soon. The water plant improvement project that is being reviewed by EPA now, we're expecting comments from them this week, and that's for the sedimentation basin in the weirs and the clear well improvement. Also, there is some legislation tonight on the agenda, I believe, for our upcoming OPWC application for, I think it would be the final installment of the HAB plan improvements at the water plant. That's for the powder activated carbon feeder system. So if you have any questions, we'd be happy to try to answer them.
Mayor, this is Tony. I have a question.
Go ahead, sir.
Clyde, last meeting we talked about all the little side projects that went along with East Street, and you were working on numbers, and I was stressing it's really important that we follow through on what we promised our residents. Did we complete those projects?
Yes, we did. We
Awesome.
completed all of them. Actually, we completed them, I believe, sooner than I had hoped. They got out there very quickly after you and I talked, and I called them, and they got out and got it done. So I appreciated that from them.
Outstanding. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
The residents do. Mayor, thank you as well, and Amy.
Yep. Yeah, I was gonna comment as well, Clyde, that I saw quite a few patches done. So thank you for that. I know it's always difficult, and again, I always try to stress this point. It's not because we're so much broke these days as it is that we're just such a smaller community that we always wait towards the end of the year just because that's when the contractors free up. So it isn't that it's not important to us or we're not important to anybody else. It's just tough to get the equipment away from the bigger projects is really what it boils down to. So thanks again, Clyde.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yep. If nothing else from our fiscal officer, then Mr. Chris Paquette.
Presenting the fund summary current through the 13th of November. Revenue summary and expenditure summary are complete through the 31st of October. We've been reconciled every month up to that point. The interim budget will be ready
at the next council meeting, the 15th of December. Resolution 70 for the OPWC Round 35 that Mr. Haddon was talking about, that's only possible to certify funds for that if the BWC refund that we're expecting in the first part of December, which is about $125,000, is applied to water. Otherwise, water will not have sufficient funds to certify that funds are available for the project. So unless council has any objections, that's where I will put that reimbursement from premium.
I'm okay with that.
Yep, all good.
All right, thank you. Senior levy funds, I'll reiterate that the new senior levy funds directions from the county came out, and they are not going to pay for the mortgage any longer through the senior levy. So that's about $32,600 a year for the next 9 years. That somehow has to get covered. Provided you with a copy of the wish list funding for 2021 as ranked by the department heads. And then a copy, you should all have gotten a copy of the proposed 2021 budget that was went to the finance committee. And new healthcare rates are in the works. We might be as low, we might be able to get it down below 9%, but right now 9% is what's on the table. Any questions?
The only question,
Frank,
the only
I
question.
have a question. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Mr. Searcy.
I was just going to say that 32,000 is quite a bite. We met with the finance committee regarding the senior center and what our plans are to cover that much of a significant loss.
I have not seen anything from the senior center board yet on what they're proposing for it, and this came in after the finance committee met.
All right, I'm just disappointed. Our senior center is a big portion of big part of Fairport, and that's a significant amount. So if you can keep us abreast.
Can I ask a question?
Please do.
So Chris, do they pay or reimburse for rent that is paid by the senior center to us? Do they pay for that?
Does the senior center board pay reimbursement for rent?
Yes.
No.
They're in their lease, they cover all of the expenses, and that includes the mortgage. That's a lease type payment. That's part of what they pay us. We can list that as a lease payment from them to us because the money we're the fiscal agent, I thought, for the senior board. The money, though, actually is allocated to the senior board, which is really the funding, which is the group that's entitled to the funds to be used for senior purposes.
Yes.
So maybe you could talk to the county about that. And so,
Chris, when does that mortgage payment due?
Usually due around August.
Okay. So we got time to fight this battle?
I'm only budgeting for there, but the senior center hasn't presented their budget to me yet, so that I can relay it up to the county. And I wasn't in on any of the discussions with the county at the county level to when they created these rules. So I will certainly bring it to their attention, or maybe we can redefine it. I'll leave that to Mr. Lyons to look over there, make sure to see how the legal it's written up in the lease or the agreement for them
Well,
I imagine.
the lease says that they pay all expenses that we
Yes.
have on it, maintenance,
Right.
capital, everything. The mortgage is an expense that we have on that building. We do not have to give them that building for nothing. In essence, they're paying, what's that work out to? $2,600 a month of rent to us, so that we
Yes.
can have money to pay the mortgage.
So
That's
it
exactly-
comes down to, does the senior center, does the senior board pay that out of their own pocket from their own dues? Because they're not going to be able to go back to the county and get it from the levy money, because the county
The
has
money from
specifically
the senior center
laid that out.
is not our money at council. We hold that money as the fiscal agent for them. We own the building. They are leasing that building from us.
Yeah.
This is Frank. That's why I brought that up. And Vern, I think you had an impact on that when we first found the funding for the senior center. What was your take on it?
Well, Mr. Lyons is 100% correct. We are simply a fiscal agent. We pay their bills for them.
But we're
With
in
their
charge
money,
of
not with
we're in
village
charge of the
fund.
mortgage.
The mortgage is in the village's name.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the mortgage is our expense, okay, but one
Correct.
of the expenses in the lease is for them to pay, as a lease payment, what our expenses are on the building, which includes the mortgage. So otherwise, they're getting the building for $0 a year, and that's not what's happening. So,
Right. So
now, once the mortgage is paid off, I think it would probably be proper, so that $32,000 or whatever that number is, doesn't get paid because it's no longer needed. I mean, some amount would be needed, for maintenance, because that's their responsibility. So.
Chris, can I ask a different type of question? And I do agree with Jim, that is what we structured a long time ago. If the senior center were to bankrupt, that would be our expense. So we do need to be concerned about it either way. So the money that the senior levy gives to the senior center, did they decrease their amount by 32,000, or did they say they can't use it to pay the mortgage? Because
They said they cannot use it to pay the
ahead.
mortgage.
Say again?
No, they're making they're making new rules. They can pay the mortgage the way they always have.
Yeah.
That needs to be very, very clear here. I don't believe there's a law that's been passed or anything else. The senior levy funds are, like anything else, they're a finite amount of money, and I believe there's a group at the county level trying to redefine how they're paying for things. But the very clear thing that has changed here, and I'll just come right out and say it, I won't tiptoe around it. The county is taking the senior levy funds are no longer going to be able to be applied to a mortgage that they clearly agreed to 20 some years ago when that building was bought. They owe that money through that fund. Now, I don't know how we're going to address this, but let it be known that it's a grab from that fund not to pay for that mortgage, and that's not correct. So our senior center board or the entity will have to make that mortgage correct, or the village will have to do it. And we don't have the money in our general fund to do that. We would have never built that building. I don't believe Frank and Vern at the time, Tony was on council, that was before my time. You guys would have never went ahead with the building of that building had those terms been presented as they're trying to be presented today. This is a big problem.
Well, that's why I brought it up, Mayor, because they also may lose some funding from United Way. And I hate to see us not stuck, but 32,000 in our budget is quite significant.
That's an
So I think we have to jump on this and get some answers as soon as possible.
Well, I can tell you that we've been in conversations. This just came down. And that seems to be the way the conversation's been happening here lately from the county level is you have one conversation and then they send out an email, and then they get a pushback, and then they send out another email, and then they, and then they have another conversation with you face to face, and then there's another email that comes behind it. So believe me, we are engaged with them.
Mr. Lyons, can you look into that further? I was part of when we originally opened up, and so was Vern, the senior center. And my take was the county was going to be or help us out. I mean, I'm upset because I don't feel how we were going to be able to pay that amount. And the senior center is a big part of Fairport.
So it says in the lease, I don't know if I'm looking at the signed lease, but it says further rent. It says the lessee shall, as further rent, pay in a timely manner all costs, expenses, fees, and other obligations associated with or relating to the possession and use of the premises, including all principal, interest, and any other costs of the mortgage that encumbers the property. So they're paying that to us as rent. So on anything that's submitted to the county for funding, if it's listed as being paid for the mortgage, okay, my understanding is that the senior center has to come up with the expenses that they pay, and that has to be something that's submitted to the county. They may have listed that payment as being a mortgage, but it's not a mortgage payment for them. It's a lease payment to us. The lease rent is set by those terms. So it just may be somebody, I don't know who's administering it now, I mean, in terms of the person, but it just, maybe a simple fix, maybe not. So, I mean, in terms of me getting involved, as long as I have all the paperwork so I know what the heck they're saying, then it would probably be best if Amy and I both talk to the person, because I think she has a better presentation skill in terms of not being antagonistic towards somebody in this kind of a situation here.
I would be happy. I'd be happy to join you, Jim.
Okay,
So what you're saying, Jim, is when I give my statement to the governor at the end of the meeting, I should have Amy do it, because
yes,
it would be exactly
I
the
think she has a very nice presentation way that makes it feel soft, even though she's hammering us here. Okay.
So Amy,
And I know that.
Can you tell the governor nicely that I think he should resign? Oh, I didn't say that, did I?
Yes, you did. Goodbye, Tony. Bye bye.
All right then. So
I just want
definitely...
something.
Go ahead.
This is Frank again. I always felt that the fiscal officer was responsible, along with Chris, to figure out all the financing. Because we've had a problem in the past where the funding wasn't all coming in. I just think it's something we have to really look at hardly.
Yeah.
And help
Believe
them
me,
out as much as we can.
Yep. It has our full attention.
Yes.
That much
Mayor,
I can guarantee you.
Yes.
So anyway, we'll definitely keep you abreast of what we find out as we go forward. Any other, do we want to talk about the wish list recommendations at all, council, or Chris, is that coming in the next budget? The interim.
Well, the interim budget's going to reflect some of these changes, but not all of them. The interim budget's just going to be as much as I can just to get us through the first part of the year so we can start seeing what's going to happen. And then council will have the opportunity to put all these wish lists or correct them or apply whatever the part of it they want to the final appropriations in late February.
Okay. All right.
I'm good with that, Chris.
Okay, if there's nothing else, I'm clear, Mayor.
I don't have anything else for you. I thank you, Chris, for your hard work. I appreciate it. All right, we have no old business. Committee reports, police and fire in. Mr. Saracen, do you have anything to add?
I've talked to Chief Leonard, and we've all heard from Chief Lloyd. And once again, the way they've been running our police and fire for the safety of our village is far and above superior.
Absolutely agreed. Chiefs, you got anything to add?
Nope, nothing here.
Got all the PPE you need, Bob?
Yeah, the county's still gonna have some problems getting N95s, but we have a pretty good supply. I ordered out of emergency management funds, some of our own. The way this is the uptick is terrible right now. It was in my report how many we've taken, and eventually the hospitals are gonna go on diversion again, and we're gonna be transporting out of the county.
Gotcha. Okay, keep us up to date if you need anything from us, okay?
I do want to say real quick, thanks to the police department and Chief Lloyd especially, or Chief Leonard, I mean, for the 3-year-old that was found wandering the streets a couple weeks ago. That was amazing, that the work that everybody did with that, and kudos to the police department.
Thanks, Jerry.
And I really think that JP should get a raise.
You're the man,
Coming out of your pocket.
Seeing we said that, I think Jerry, seeing all the money he's bringing in now from selling his home, should pay for it.
Perfect. I agree.
You might get me to make a motion.
Seriously,
Thanks,
kudos
Jerry.
to you
I'll make
guys.
a motion on that.
All right, as we derail, I'm going to ask for a motion to pay the bills.
Frank Cersei, so moved.
Second, Horton.
Cersei,
Aye.
Horton,
Aye.
Harrison,
Aye.
Heights,
Aye.
Bertone,
Aye.
Batnick.
Aye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Resolution number 2020-66, a resolution authorizing the village to continue to offer the Section 125 cafeteria premium only plan for health plans, group term life insurance, and health savings accounts for 2021 and declaring an emergency.
Move to adopt. Bertone.
Second.
Move to suspend. Bertone.
Second, sir. I don't know how we are on this. Who seconded it?
I got
Doesn't matter.
Mr. Bertone has led and Mr. Saracen seconded.
All right, I'll second that.
On the motion to waive further readings, Bertone,
Aye.
Saracen,
Aye.
Horton,
Aye.
Harrison,
Aye.
Batnick,
Aye.
Heights.
Aye.
On the motion to adopt, Bertone,
Aye.
Saracen,
Aye.
Horton,
Aye.
Harrison,
Aye.
Batnick,
Aye.
Heights.
Aye.
Batnick,
Aye.
thank you.
Sorry.
Thanks, Mayor.
Excuse me. Resolution number, are we ready for the next one? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, resolution number 2020-67, a resolution amending Resolution 2025 to continue pandemic pay for the fire and police personnel from the 22nd of June 2020 until the governor or the director of the Ohio Department of Health declares that the public health emergency has ended and declaring an emergency.
Move
Move
to
to
adopt.
adopt, Doug.
Second, Horton. Suspend, Doug.
Move to suspend the rules, Doug.
Second, Horton.
On a motion to suspend, Harrison,
Aye.
Orton,
Aye.
Heresy,
Aye.
Height,
Aye.
Bertone,
Aye.
Backnick.
Aye.
On the motion to adopt, Harrison,
Aye.
Orton,
Aye.
Heresy,
Aye.
Height,
Aye.
Bertone,
Aye.
Backnick.
Aye.
Thank you.
Resolution number 2020-68, a resolution confirming the appointment of Pastor Christina L. Green as a police fire chaplain for the village of Fairport Harbor, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Move to adopt.
Second, Heights.
Move to suspend.
Second.
On the motion to suspend, Bertone,
Aye.
Height,
Aye.
Heresy,
Aye.
Aye.
Backnick,
Aye.
Harrison,
Aye.
Orton.
Aye.
On the motion to adopt, Bertone,
Aye.
Height,
Aye.
Heresy,
Aye.
Backnick,
Aye.
Harrison,
Aye.
Orton.
Aye.
Thank you.
Resolution number 2020-69, a resolution confirming the appointment of Joseph P. Federico as a special police officer, step 2 for the village of Fairport Harbor, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Move to adopt, Heights.
Second, Cersei.
Move to suspend the rules.
Second, Cersei.
On the motion to suspend, Height,
Aye.
Heresy,
Aye.
Horton,
Aye.
Harrison,
Aye.
Backnick,
Aye.
Bertone.
Aye.
On the motion to adopt, Height,
Aye.
Heresy, Bertone.
Aye.
Thank you.
Resolution number 2020-70, a resolution authorizing and directing the village administrator and village engineer to prepare and submit applications on behalf of the village for OPWC Round 35 funding, and authorizing the village administrator to execute such forms and contracts that may be required to properly secure OPWC Round 35 funding on behalf of the village of Fairport Harbor, Lake County, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Move to adopt, Horton.
Second, Backnick.
Move to suspend the rules.
Second, Backnick.
On the motion to suspend, Horton,
Aye.
Backnick,
Aye.
Bertone,
Aye.
Harrison,
Aye.
Height,
Aye.
Mr. Heights, you're muted.
Aye.
Thank you. Cersei.
Aye.
On the motion to adopt, Horton,
Aye.
Harrison,
Aye.
Backnick,
Aye.
Bertone,
Aye.
Height,
Aye.
Cersei.
Aye.
Thank you.
Resolution number 2020-71, a resolution administratively recording the compensation of certain officials and employees of the village and declaring an emergency.
Move to adopt, Horton.
Second, Heights.
Move to suspend the rules.
Second.
On the motion to suspend, Horton,
Aye.
Heights,
Aye.
Saracy,
Aye.
Harrison,
Aye.
Backnick,
Aye.
Bertone.
Aye.
On the motion to adopt, Horton,
Aye.
Heights,
Aye.
Saracy,
Aye.
Harrison,
Aye.
Backnick,
Aye.
Bertone.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, before I go to the public or open the meeting up, I wanted to take a moment to thank the voters of our village for their passage of our 3 levies that were on the ballot, this year. That's quite a bit of funding that this village absolutely cannot operate without. It's a testament to the administration. It's a testament to this council. But most importantly, I think it's a ringing endorsement of the fine men and women that do the hard work for our village. And a lot of times they don't get thanked enough or a lot. They don't get to see the fruits of their labor. But I can tell you that a passage of 70-30 is absolutely, I think, the residents' way of recognizing their hard work and their dedication. And I want to personally thank them for that. But thank you again to the residents. So I have nothing else this evening. I'll open it up to anyone from council and then ask if there's any questions from the public as well.
Mayor, just one thing. I know when we last talked about virtual meetings, we talked about going through the end of the year. Do we need to start looking at how far into next year we're going to go?
I think we can probably maybe pump the brakes and let's wait till the 15th. We may have to meet before the 15th, depending on what the legislation does, right, Jim? So, at this point, I don't think we need to make any determinations, but I think by the next meeting, we'll probably have to make some calls. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
I'd like to thank Amy for getting that sinkhole fixed that I called in at Plum and Orchard. Thank you, Amy.
You're welcome, Doug. Thank you.
Well, if nothing else, Mr. Bertone's already asked the governor to resign, so I'm going to ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right.
Second.
Horton,
Aye,
Mr. Harrison, did you second that?
he did.
Yes, sir.
Harrison,
Aye. Aye.
Backnick,
Aye.
Bertone.
I'm glad I had the backing of the mayor on that request. So, aye.
Saracy,
Aye.
Heights.
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned at 19:29.
Be safe out there. See you guys.
You
God
too,
bless.
Mayor.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Good night, everybody.
Not a minute to 10.
Thank you. You all too.
Have a
Thank you,
great
everybody. Take
Thanksgiving.
care.
Yeah, you too. Happy Thanksgiving.
You too.